Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking out my video. So I did a video a little while ago now showing some pretty kooky little exercises you can do to improve your finger independence, your strength, dexterity without even using a guitar. So today I'm going to move on and show you a couple of exercises you can actually do on a guitar. Now, just like any form of exercise, unfortunately, some of these can be quite boring and not very musical. But just as we train our bodies to improve our fitness, we also really need to train our fingers to improve on guitar. A common problem for guitarists, I would say, is that we all usually start learning the instrument as we want to sound like our heroes and we want to learn to play our favourite songs. And while this is obviously good exercise for our fingers in itself, a lot of time, although we may start to sound better, we still might not actually be really developing strength across our entire hand. You can think of it a bit like training for a triathlon or a decathlon. For instance, if we were preparing to enter one of these events, you wouldn't want to just be running or just going to the gym every day and pumping weights. You'd want to be running, swimming, cycling, and possibly adding in other things like strength training as well. Exercising and training a variety of muscles across your entire body. Essentially, the principle is quite similar. Like in music, there are a huge amount of different styles, and on guitar, there are many different techniques and ways of playing to learn. If we only stick to and practice the things we like initially, then in a way, we don't prepare ourselves for playing in different ways as we discover new genres, materials, or simply as our tastes change. Exercises can definitely help you to improve your lead playing. By improving finger strength and independence in all your fingers will also help you to play and change between far more complex chords. So they definitely can be equally beneficial for rhythm players if you're only playing one or the other. Lastly, I've also found simple exercises can sometimes spark the most interesting ideas for either improvisation or riff-based tunes. You are simply attempting things that are more outside of the box from your usual go-tos when you pick up a guitar. And occasionally, you very well may just stumble upon something that sparks some serious creativity. Obviously, the more you do these sorts of things, as well as your strength, speed, timing, precision, and much more, will all improve greatly. And ultimately, will help you to become a much better guitar player, and that is obviously what we all want. Yeah, cool. So let's get down to the guitar, and we'll check them out. Okay guys, so the first exercise we're going to do is simply a great exercise. It's going to help you develop your finger strength, finger independence, speed, accuracy. The chromatic element can also really benefit your ears. The only real drawback with this is, unfortunately, it isn't very musical and it can become quite monotonous, but it is an exercise. At the end of the day, we shouldn't be doing this for hours on end. 5 to 10 minutes of this every time you pick up the guitar is absolutely perfect. Simply use this as a warm-up before you play your usual things. The best way to do this exercise is with a metronome. This is my metronome here. Had this for absolutely years. Mine is a tuner and a metronome all in one. Absolutely great. If you don't have a metronome, definitely go and get one. You really need to have one. It can be any type you like. Doesn't have to be like this. They're probably really cheap on Amazon, eBay. You could probably even download one as an app now. This will really help you to keep time properly and also measure and improve your speed. The more you practice this, the faster you will get. So I'm going to set my metronome for around 80 BPM, 80 beats per minute. And what we're going to do is we just need to simply start on first finger, first fret, second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret, fourth finger, fourth fret. And then once we've done that, we're going to move up the string, alright? And then once we get all the way to the top, we're going to move up one fret and we're going to come back down. So if I just play that through a little bit with the metronome on. Yeah, that's enough of that. You should get the idea. It's very important to try and alternate your picking as you do this, which means go down, up with your picking. And also try to keep your movements with your fingers on your left hand and your right hand, in fact, as small as possible. This is just going to help you to run through the exercise smoother and faster. And will improve your overall picking style when you're playing solos or single note lines. There are obviously a ton of variations on this exercise. You can do it faster, you can do it slower. I was doing 1 note per beat, you could do 2 notes per beat, you could do 3 notes per beat, you could do 4 notes per beat. And I'm obviously showing you the simplest form, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you could go the opposite way. You could simply make up any pattern you like, and it's really beneficial and really good to mix it up like this, as it will keep your fingers guessing and force you to concentrate more. Once we practice a certain exercise for too long, just like with our scales, our muscle memory begins to take over and we sort of zone out. And while that can be good in some ways, we want to keep challenging ourselves. So maybe try rolling a dice before every time you do it, but obviously you won't be able to use the 5 or 6. Yeah, anyway, on to the next exercise. Okay guys, so the next exercise I want to show you is slightly more advanced and is aimed a little more at intermediate players than complete beginners. But I mean, feel free to give it a try regardless of your ability. This exercise uses scales, so it can be a bit more musical than the first exercise, and you may find once you mastered it, you actually begin to use parts of it in your own playing. You can use any scale you like for this. The actual scale you're using is not really that important. I'm going to use the minor pentatonic scale as it's fairly straightforward. Hopefully a lot of you out there already know this. If you don't, I have made another video on pentatonic scales, so definitely check them out after this one. Or go to the website for some written information. Again, this exercise is going to help you with your speed, precision, accuracy, finger independence, but it's also going to get you to start thinking about and feeling for musical patterns on the guitar. The one I'm going to show you, again, is pretty straightforward, but you can use the concept to change the exercise in different ways and make hundreds of different patterns. I urge you to try this out and see which ones you like best, which ones you find easiest, and which ones you find most challenging. So if we start at the top of the scale shape, and we're going to play A minor pentatonic, obviously that's going to be on the C here in the 8th fret, or we could start from the root on the 5th fret there. Generally it is better to practice always beginning and finishing on the root. But as long as you and your ears recognise and acknowledge the scale you're in, you'll be okay. So I'm just going to go from the top note here. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 3 notes going down, and then we're going to move 1 note back up and then down again. So you should end up with something like this. If I put my metronome back on. way down. And if we go back up, just like that. So it's practice that in all 5 scale positions, whatever scale you're playing, up and down the neck. Obviously paying close attention to your root notes along the way. Again, just like the last exercise, try and use that alternate picking method, down, up, and try and again keep your finger movements as small as you can. Yeah, as I said, this is a great exercise. It can be modified a number of different ways. You can go down 3 and then 2 back. You can go 5 down, back 1, 2 down, 3 back, whatever you like. In fact, you can't go 2 down, 3 back. Just make sure the number you are going down is always greater than the number you come back up. Otherwise, you're going to be going the wrong way and you're going to run out of strings. Yeah, cool. So let's move on to the next exercise. Okay guys, so the last exercise I want to show you is super simple, super easy, and just like my last exercise video, pretty kooky as well. So as I've said in all my scale and chord videos, if you've watched any of them, is all the notes on our guitar neck are all spread essentially over 12 frets. After that, everything repeats. 12 notes in Western music, so with 12 notes we have each note. Now, what that means is notes are doubled in higher octaves after the 12th fret. For instance, if we hit our bottom E on the open string, we know we can hit our 12th fret on our bottom E and we have E again. And that's obviously the same with A, D, and so on. Now, the idea of this exercise is all we want to do is go between the 2 notes. And essentially this is going to hopefully improve our feel for our octave spread across the neck. So yeah, like I said, we start off with the E, open E, and we go 12 frets of the E there. We start off with the A, and we go 12 fret all the way up to there, okay? We start with a C on the A string, and then we go 15th all the way up there on the A string still. You can do that obviously with any note on any string. Easy, right? Yeah, of course it is. So that is why we do it with our eyes closed. Stupid? Yes. Kooky? Definitely. But beneficial? Absolutely. While this may seem a little lame, when we are shredding away on a solo, we don't always want to be staring and focusing completely on the fretboard. Of course, we want to play the right notes, but by developing our muscle memory, really in our arms this time, as well as our fingers, it will help us develop a stronger musical feel. It's going to help us to flow a bit better, and I think make you a bit more confident as a musician. This is also a really great exercise for your ears. As you're listening for the note. When we play music, and specifically guitar or piano, it seems as though our fingers and eyes are our most valuable tools, but your ears play just as important role, if not even more. Another way of thinking is that sometimes you might be playing a show with crazy lighting. You might end up playing in a theatre pit with almost no lighting at all. Sometimes we simply cannot rely on our eyes alone, so by developing a solid feel, as well as our ears and our listening, it's going to help you to become a much more rounded and professional musician in the long run. So just for giggles, if I try and do it with my eyes closed, oh look at that, he gets it first time. Let's do another one. Oh my god. Surprising myself. We do the C. Oh man, I'm better than I thought I was. There you go. Yeah, Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that these exercises make sense and they help you with building up that finger strength and your muscle memory and your ears as well. Remember, a little every day is much better than practicing a whole bunch every now and again. Any questions, comments, please let me know as always, guys, and until next time, happy playing.